Namaste. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Aparna. I am your emotional healing synergist. I am an Ayurvedic psychotherapist, a passionate infopreneur, edupreneur, medical writer, and now a budding YouTuber. So, on my pursuit to address, promote, and propagate Ayurveda and psychotherapy globally, I come up with discussions every week on the subjects of Ayurveda, mental health, psychotherapy, and related aspects. And I write articles on these, subjects as well. So all the articles are available on medium.com, blogger.com, and on LinkedIn. You can go and check it out. Links will be provided in the description. So today's topic of discussion is one of the important topics. Why? Why do I say that? Is most of the concerns, like one third of the concerns I as a psychotherapist receive is adolescent mental health concerns. That is teenage mental health problems. We're gonna discuss today about why teenage mental health is important. That means adolescent mental health is important, and what is the impact of poor mental health in adolescents? What are the adolescent mental health disorders, and all these whatever we can cover today, I will talk about it in this session. So without wasting time, let's get started. See, adolescent mental health refers to the psychological and emotional well-being of individuals during the period of adolescence. So what is the period of adolescence? The age is which typically spans around the ages of 10 to 90. You can consider it up to 20, but usually it is 10 to 90. So it encompasses the cognitive, emotional, and social development that occurs during this transitional phase. This phase is also called the transitional phase. So, adolescence phase is also called transitional phase because there are many transitions going on in this phase. Hormonal changes happening, cognitive changes happening, emotional changes happening, social developments happening. So, this phase, so the transition phase from the childhood to the adulthood. So this phase is adolescent phase. So adolescent mental health is the psychological and emotional well-being of these children from who are transitioning from childhood to adulthood. That is from 10 to 19. So they also call it teenage mental health. So teenage is between 13 to 19. It is mostly the same. It is synonymous, but teenage exactly refers to 13 to 19. So, this teenage mental health also, addresses the unique challenges and concerns that arise during the period of this physical, cognitive, emotional change that is happening in this transitional period. So, what are the list of? Let's know what are the disorders which we come across when we are seeing the adolescent patients. That is adolescent clients. So, depression, anxiety disorders. This could be social anxiety or generalized anxiety disorder or panic disorder, majorly eating disorders. That is like anorexia nervosa. We discussed one of each in some other session. But eating disorders like binge eating too much or eating very less, both the disorders. We'll discuss these disorders also separately in some other session. Now we are discussing the general conditions. So, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So, ADHD. This is actually common in children between ages from 5 to 13 or 14. This is called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and substance use disorder. Children who use, who are a trap of, alcohol, tobacco, drugs, disorders from this. Self-harm and suicidal behavior. This self-harm and suicidal behavior could be due to various reasons. It could be due to bullying and ragging in school and colleges. So this also could be a reason. This could be due to many reasons, self-harm and suicidal behavior. And bipolar disorder, having two personalities. So this also we'll discuss in detail in a separate session. And the one which we have discussed, the post-traumatic stress disorder, this also happens in children, and I mean in adolescents. Obsessive compulsive disorders, OCDs also tend to happen in adolescent age. And autism spectrum disorder. Autism spectrum disorder is, I think, many of you must have heard of at least autism. This happens in children the most. This happens in the children the most. So if you ask me, what happens if the mental health is weak or poor, or they have mental health concerns in adolescents? So what is the impact? So the impact of poor mental health on adolescents, or weak mental health, if they are mentally weak, what happens is they can be, many, it could interfere into their daily lives. What happens is the impacts are, impact is profound, and it is multidimensional. And what happens is, it impacts their daily functioning, and also impacts their daily routine, so that gets hampered. What happens? Academic performance. So poor mental health can lead to difficulties concentrating, decreased motivation, and impaired academic performance. So social isolation. Adolescents with mental health issues may struggle to form and maintain relationships, leading to social isolation and loneliness. It could impact academic performance. It could impact, their social activity. That means they are socially isolated. So social isolation is, has a profound impact in adolescents, because adolescents with mental health issues may struggle to form and maintain relationships, leading to social isolation and loneliness. Next, physical health. So, mental health problems can contribute to physical health symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches, and fatigue. It might, have symptoms of, increased appetite or decreased appetite, headaches, fatigue, all those things. Risk of substance abuse. Adolescents with poor mental health are at a higher risk of turning into substances like alcohol and drugs. So to cope with the poor mental health, so they get into the trap of alcohol, tobacco, drugs, because they see it as a way to cope. And self-esteem. So they have low self-esteem. So mental health challenges can erode self-esteem and self-confidence, hindering personal growth and development. So there may be low self-esteem, low self-confidence, impacting the personal growth and development. And there could be behavioral problems, all that we discussed, that is ADHD or autism spectrum disorder. All these behavioral problems, some mental health disorders are associated with behavioral issues such as aggression, impulsive behavior. So all these behaviors can happen because of the poor mental health in adolescents. And risky behaviors. So what are these risky behaviors? Is adolescents with poor mental health may engage in risky behaviors like maybe unprotected sex or reckless driving and substance abuse. These are also, these is also the impact. They can turn into, it is easy for them to get trapped into the bad effects of social media, and all those things. So physical health issues. So physical health, what if they have poor mental health, it leads to chronic stress, and mental health concerns can lead to physical health problems like weakened immune systems and increased susceptibility to illnesses. The long-term impact, untreated mental health issues during adolescence can have long-lasting effects on mental and emotional well-being in adulthood as well. The childhood mental health concerns can, have a long-lasting effect even after that adolescent turns into an adult. So, suicidal behavior. Poor mental health is a major risk factor for suicidal thoughts and behaviors among adolescents. In this also self-harm will be there, harm to others will be there, both kind of tendencies may be developed. So recognizing and addressing adolescent mental health concerns early is crucial to prevent these negative impacts. Everything is negative, negatively impacting. So from taking a toll on their overall well-being, providing appropriate support, intervention and treatment can significantly improve the quality of life and set a foundation for healthier adulthood. So if these symptoms are recognized earlier, then the treatment can also be given then and there, so that early intervention can prevent it from from the prolonged negative impacts. So adolescent mental health is crucial. Why is it crucial? Because it significantly impacts an individual's overall well-being. See, all these what we talked about, the behavioral problems, the physical health issues, the long-term impacts, the suicidal behavior, the risky behaviors, and academic, dropping of the academic performance, isolation, all of these things, what we talked about, is is significantly impacting that teenagers' overall well-being, development, and future. It is impacting the career as well, not only professional, and it would impact the relationships as well. So during this stage, teenagers undergo, as I said, physical, emotional, and cognitive changes. Cognitive is the mental changes, the thinking, the thought process changes from a childhood to adulthood. This is the transition phase, so everything is changing. And addressing these issues early can prevent long-term challenges and promote a healthy adulthood. See, we talked about some disorders like depression, anxiety, eating disorders. We'll just go through a little bit about them, so that what might happen in adolescence. If an adolescent is facing depression, they may experience persistent sadness, lack of interest, changes in appetite or sleep, and feelings of worthlessness. I am highlighting these things because if you see, if you observe, or if you notice these in your children, your siblings, or your family members, or friends, or relatives, or colleagues who are adolescents, please take them to a mental health professional. So that is the reason why I'm addressing the issues, in brief. See, in depression, what happens? Persistent sadness, lack of interest, changes in appetite or sleep, feelings of worthlessness. Depression can hinder academic performance, social interactions, and overall quality of the life is impaired. And in anxiety, what happens? In anxiety, there may be panic attacks, there may be excessive worrying, there may be nervousness, there may be avoidance of certain situations because of the excessive anxiety. They may be hindering. Because of all this, the personal growth and academic growth is impacted. The personal life and the professional life, the career is impacted. So, and eating disorders. See, eating disorders here is because it could be because of the distorted body image. First, like if they are obese or overweight, they may get into more of unhealthy food habits. It can be mutual. Because of unhealthy food habits, turning into obese or being obese or having nutrition deficits, malnutrition, or having nutritional deficiencies. It may be this way, or it could be because of they are they have a distorted body image. They are being bullied, or they're being constantly speculated on. So they might from that, to escape from that, or to cope from that, they may start eating too much, binge eating, or they may stop eating. They may get into the starvation mode. They might not eat anything. They may enter into the nutritional deficiency. Both might happen. So, and eating more, eating less, appetite, increase in appetite, decrease in appetite, both can be seen in different individuals in different circumstances. So, and here in attention deficit hyperactivity disorders, here ADHD, what I talked about is these children or these teenagers struggle with impulsivity, inattention. Attention deficit itself means they're not attentive. They can't concentrate on a thing at once, and they are hyperactive. These challenges can impact academic performance and interpersonal relationships. Ultimately, the daily routine, the relationships, the personal and professional growth is hampered. So, substance use disorder. See, substance abuse, including alcohol and drugs, can have a detrimental impact on adolescent mental health. These disorders can lead to addiction, impaired cognitive function, and strained relationships. See, this substance use is, increasing in today's era, where self-harm and suicidal behaviors. Adolescents might engage in self-harming behaviors as a way to cope with emotional pain. If their emotional concerns are not addressed, then they may resort to self-harm and suicidal behavior. Suicidal thoughts or actions are serious concerns that require immediate attention. And bipolar disorder. This disorder involves extreme mood swings. Here you have extreme mood swings, including episodes of depression and mania. There may be sometimes they may be very depressed. Sometimes they may be very hyperactive, anxious. Both might happen in bipolar disorder. That's why it is called bipolar. So two personalities. So in a same, two extremes in a same individual. Once being depressed, once they are very exhilarated, very anxious, and they're hyperactive. So both happens. This is a risky behavior. This may lead to risky behavior, strained relationships, and difficulty in managing emotions. And post-traumatic stress disorder, we have discussed this in detail in other session. And adolescents, or you can check out my video if you want to know more about it. So adolescents also experience post-traumatic stress disorder, which involves reliving the traumatic event through flashbacks if they have experienced any trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, abuse, any childhood abuse. They may have flashbacks, nightmares, or intrusive thoughts. So, obsessive compulsive disorder, or for OCD also I have made two videos. If you want, you can check them out. See, OCD also is caused in adolescents. It's not only in adults, it may also be seen in adolescents. So, OCD causes persistent unwanted thoughts, obsessions. Thoughts are called obsession, and for that obsessions, they have repetitive behaviors that they are called compulsion. So, the disorder is called obsessive compulsive disorder. So that individuals feel compelled to perform constant cleaning, going and checking the door locks again and again. If you want in detail, you can check my videos on OCD. So this can interfere with daily life and routines. So every disorder in a way or other, interrupts the daily routine, disrupts the daily routine and the quality of life. So, autism spectrum disorder. Well, typically this autism spectrum disorder is diagnosed in childhood, but the impact continues in adolescence as well. So it also affects the social communication and behavior, leading to challenges in forming relationship and understanding social rules. The autistically challenged, autistic spectrum disorder adolescents are, it is challenging for them to form new relationships, being social and understanding the social cues and all these things. Social communication and behavior is also impacted. So it's see, this is important that early intervention, professional support, and open communication play a important role in managing these disorders. So here also we use the holistic approach, therapy, and healthy lifestyle, diet modification, strong social support. All these things can improve adolescent mental health. See, now comes the incidence. What is the incidence? That means how many adolescents, how many teenagers are affected from the mental health concerns. See, approximately teenager in five, one out of five teenagers worldwide experiences a one or the other mental health disorder. So, what are the causes? Why the mental health disorders are caused in adolescents? See, biological factors. See, there may be some hormonal changes during puberty. Of course, there are hormonal changes. Because of the hormonal changes during puberty, it can influence mood and behavior. Some hormonal changes, during puberty, they influence the mood and the behavior of the teenager. Brain development and neurotransmitter functioning also play a role in mental health disorders. How the brain development and the neurotransmitters also, if the neurotransmitters functioning is impaired, then also it may lead to adolescent mental health disorders and genetic predisposition. So, adolescents with a family history of mental health disorder may be at a higher risk of, developing similar conditions due to genetic factors. Not, it is not a proven fact that everybody who has a family history of mental health disorder may develop, but they have a higher risk of developing, similar mental health conditions. Environmental stressors, academic pressure. This is really important. Academic pressure, due to academic pressure, due to family conflicts, due to social challenges, due to peer pressure, these all can lead to stress and trigger or exacerbate the mental health disorder. This may increase the intensity of the mental health issue. The academic pressure, the unhealthy academic pressure, the comparison, the consistent comparison, and consistently seeking for validation, consistent family conflicts, social challenges they face they face in the personal life, or they face in the in schools and colleges, in the professional life, peer pressure. All these contribute to, these are the major factors which is an important cause, the environmental stresses. And the next important thing is trauma and adverse childhood experiences. Adolescents who have experienced trauma, abuse, neglect, or other adverse events may be more prone to developing mental health disorders. So these individuals are more prone to, because they have experienced some trauma, some abuse, some neglect, or their emotional concerns are neglected, or they've experienced any adverse events or any hazard in their family, any loss in the family. So this also makes them more prone to develop mental health disorder. Next is bullying and cyberbullying. This is very, very, very important. See, bullying and cyberbullying, the harassment at schools or online, bullying or cyberbullying can lead to feelings of isolation, low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, and latter, if it is not addressed, it may lead to suicidal or self-harming tendencies. So, bullying and cyberbullying, the prevention, of the harassment or ragging at school, or being bullying at school, or cyberbullying is very much essential. To stop that mental health, progressing mental health disorders in adolescents. Then substance abuse. So experimenting with alcohol and drugs. See, teenagers have the tendency to experiment everything. So I'll try smoking, I'll try drinking, I'll try using drugs. Maybe I'll not get addicted, but during the experimental stage, they might actually get addicted, and they might that might increase the risk of mental health disorders. So when there is a genetic predisposition, so this, and body image and identity issues. See, this is also becoming a great concern, a matter of worry. Like adolescents often grapple with body image concerns, whether they're malnourished, whether they're overnourished, that means they're obese or they're very lean, constantly being speculated on, looking for constant validation, and that becomes their identity. Sometimes the body image becomes their identity because of the social media, because of the people around, and this will contribute to the mood disorders, low self-esteem, eating disorders, low self-confidence. All these may lead to a mental health disorders, and then at last this might happen. They may develop self-harm or suicidal tendencies as well. And this also is very important: academic and performance pressure, high expectations of the parents or the teachers or the professors from the academic students, and in extracurricular activities, very high expectations can lead to stress, burnout, and mental health challenges. If there is constant comparison from one student to another student, all this may lead to mental health challenges and transitions and change because of the adolescents. Because the adolescents face various life transitions, such as they may move out from school to junior college, or starting new in a new place, moving into a new place, or just entering into a workforce, choosing a career for themselves. All these changes sometimes can also trigger anxiety, stress, and uncertainty, and they might lead to mental health challenges. So, and all these are the causes of why mental health challenges can be triggered. So early intervention and supportive environment, and open communication, access to appropriate mental health services are essential to address these challenges. Please don't ignore and please don't neglect, you know, because if it is neglected in adolescence, then in adulthood it will impact, it's very severe. There will be a very severe or a profound impact in the adulthood. So preventing adolescents, mental health concerns. So what should we do to prevent? What can be done to prevent adolescent mental health concerns? What are the precautions that could be taken, to prevent, adolescent mental health concerns? One is firstly open communication. Promote open communication. That means create a safe environment. Parents should be the first confidence, like create a safe environment for an adolescent to feel, so that they feel comfortable discussing their feelings with their parents, or with their trusted family members, or trusted, social support, whatever social members whom they can trust. The first is I would say parents or siblings. See, the adolescents or the teenager must be feel comfortable to share things with you. So to promote that open communication, create an environment, for them. Encourage them to share their concerns. Tell them that you can share your concerns with me. Promote them to share their concerns and thoughts, and don't judge them when they share their concerns. Hold your reactions for a minute. Even if you feel that they are doing wrong, hold your reactions for a few moments and listen to them and then respond instead of reacting to them, right? You can respond to them, you can tell them what is right, what is wrong, after listening their perspective, in their entire perspective, without being over judgmental. And they just have an open communication. It is good that teenagers or children in general come and tell everything to their parents. Build resilience. Resilience is very much important. So teaching coping skills and problem solving skills. What happens is when they openly communicate with you, you can teach them coping skills and problem solving strategies, to help adolescents to navigate challenges. Resilience enables them, if they are, suppose if they have academically not scored as good, or if they happen to have some bullying from school, just teach them to build resilience. Tell them it is okay. Next time you can always improve. Next time there is a chance. Teaching them coping skills, building, resilience. Sit with them in the academic, whatever the academic problems they have. You sit with them. You try to solve them. Solve the concerns. If not the subject concerns, the actual concerns, whatever the concerns are, sit and solve with them. So all these will help them build resilience and provide education. See, education here is education about the mental health and awareness about the mental health. So educate the adolescents about the mental health, its importance, so that they can come and share. If you feel angry, if you feel sad, if you feel upset, what can be done? Like they can come and just talk their concerns with you, and so that if they know about the mental health conditions and what all things can go wrong, if they're educated well enough from the beginning as well, this the intensity or the severity of the mental health diseases can be, and the stigma around the mental health issues, so used, and this empowers them to seek help when needed. They can seek help from you or the social support, the trustable social support, whatever they have. The healthy and encouraging regular physical activity, any physical activity, balanced diet, adequate sleep, reduced social media, physical well-being, positively impacts the mental health. So then managing stress. So if they know about stress and stress management techniques like deep breathing, pranayama, meditation, mindfulness techniques, all these skills, upgrading their skills and engaging them in hobbies, will help them to manage their stress. That could be academic stress or any other stress in general. Fostering supportive relationships. So if they have a nurturing relationships with family and friends, a strong support system will always help them to um, buffer against the mental health challenges. So monitor the technology use. This is most important thing. Set limits on screen time, especially the social media. Nowadays, teens and adolescents are constantly on the social media, and we don't know what's going on there. And the parents would not have any idea whether there is bullying going on, cyberbullying going on, whether they're getting into a trap of wrong habits or something like that. So monitoring online interactions, to prevent cyberbullying and exposure to harmful content or pornography. So all these things. So, and teaching emotional intelligence. So teaching how to respond rather than to react. Controlling the aggression, helping adolescents identify and understand their emotions. Emotional intelligence is becoming aware of your emotions and managing the emotions. So being self-aware and emotional regulation, teaching them that. So and encouraging them in hobbies and interests. They can extracurricular activities, any hobbies, whatever they're interested in, painting, swimming, whatever arts or whatever they're interested in, or cultivating an interest also. If they're not interested, just cultivating an interest in gardening, swimming, or etc., whatever, dancing, singing, whatever. So their minds can be diverted into a productive thing. These activities also provide a sense of accomplishment and joy and healthy academic pressure. See, instead of constant comparison and telling them to get first rank, score high points, high marks, or whatever, instead of doing that, telling them why academic qualifications, why it is important, and to how much extent it is important, to what extent. Just getting the degrees is not the entire life, right? So to what extent it is important, basic goals can be set. Why is it important? Why the academic studying so is important? If they have the awareness, then you don't have to force them to read all the time. If they know that I have to achieve this, that's why I have to I have to study. Setting realistic goals, not unexpected high expectation goals, according to your child. Every child's ability is different, so according to your child, setting realistic academic goals, and emphasizing in the importance of balance between the school, college, and the extracurricular activities, and giving them some time to relax as well. So all the things, instead of pressuring them, your neighbor has scored this much, your friend has scored this much. Set realistic goals according to your child's ability and tell them what. Think here to spend some quality time together as a family. So positive family interactions and open communications, helps promote their emotional well-being. So, and model healthy behaviors. That means if you do healthy activities, or if you have healthy behaviors, the same thing. Set an example by practicing self-care, managing stress, whatever you do, the children will, ape you, they copy you, or they do the same. So first you have to develop healthy habits, model the healthy behaviors, help you develop a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, and if you do that, children will also pick that up. So and addressing any trauma, this is also important. If an adolescent has undergone any adverse event or any child abuse, when there is childhood abuse or any trauma, physical or emotional, addressing them and frequently talking about them, calming them down, giving appropriate support and therapy. So all these things can prevent, mental health disorders. So as I said, all these are important. So education about mental health and mindful technology use, that is really really very important. So tech responsible and mindful. How much ever social media or the internet is needed, only using that much of it. Limiting the screen time, everything, all these things will help in preventing mental health disorders. I hope I have provided enough of I hope I've provided enough of the strategies and information regarding the adolescent mental health concerns. So if you have any queries or questions or your views, let me know in the comments section. And I'll also come up with the psychotherapy aspect of the mental health concerns when I discuss the individual mental health concern. So I will talk about those aspects as well. So thank you for staying tuned, and that's it for today.